seasonal crop, and once they sow, that's when they are rich, take children to school, then wait for another planting season. Now, this morning, I am humbled to have, Alex Ochetum, who is a research officer from the International Center of Insect Psychology and Ecology, ICIPE. He's with me in studios this morning. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good morning, viewers. Just to correct, my name is Nathan Ochatum, and like clearly stated, I work for the International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology, abbreviated as ICIPE.
ICIPE. Now, we also have Alex Mayamba, who is a researcher with the National Agricultural Research Institute and also National Agricultural Research Laboratories. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, our viewers. Alex Mayamba is my name once again, and I come from National Agricultural Research Organization based at an institute called the National Agricultural Research Laboratories. I'm glad to be here this morning.
Okay. Now, I want to begin with Nathan. When we talk about the International Center for Insects Psychology and Ecology, what is it all about? What is this institution? What's your mandate?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology, ICIPE, is an international research organization that is headquartered in Nairobi, but has country offices spread across different countries in Africa. Our work mainly revolves around insect science and research, where we develop environmentally friendly solutions for pest management, but these solutions are also sustainable. So the work is anchored on 4 major pillars, looking at the environmental health, the plant health, the human health, and the animal health. So across these 4 pillars, of course, broadening it down to what we call the One Health concept. So we do programs researching more about insects and creating solutions that help us manage some of the insects that would definitely affect both the human, the plants, the environment, as well as the animals. So the center focuses mainly on doing that, and we are proud to be an institution, a center of excellence that also supports capacity building. Our programs enable students to be facilitated both at research and PhD level to be able to create solutions that help them manage insects broadly. So that is mainly our work as the center. Our office in Uganda is based at Jinja. So we are happy to be here today to share more information about the insect science and research. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, now I have Alex. Alex, we know the National Agricultural Research Center. They're doing great work, I must say. But now let's look at the laboratories. What exactly do you do? Because this is an organization, it's split, I think, into different, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. National Agricultural Research Laboratories is one of the institutes under the National Agricultural Research Organization. We have a couple of institutes that are spread across the country. We have zonal institutes, but we also have national institutes. So National Agricultural Research Laboratories is the center that deals with research laboratories or research which is in the laboratories. At this center, we have about 4 programs that are being run there. We have the soils program, we have the biodiversity and biotechnology program that deals with anything concerning conservation of plants, insects, organisms, things of that sort. But we also have a program which is looking at food biosciences that deals with how do you add value to your food, how do you process it, how do you make sure it's conserved very well. So basically, all the laboratories are based in Kawanda. Anything that you want concerning crops, animals, you can get it at NAL Kawanda. Yes.
That is crops and animals?
Yes.
The research?
Yes.
At Kawanda. Okay, now let me go to Nathan here. We are talking about the army fall worm. Now, first and foremost, in the minds of our viewer who may not understand exactly what this is, please, expert in insects, paint a picture.
Thank you very much. I think first of all, we would first understand the major pests or the insects, the pests that affect maize. We have, of course, the maize stem borer. That is very common and has affected so many farmers. We also have at storage, we have the maize weevils. I think this
those are very common.
Every farmer interacts with this so much. And then most recently, we had the invasion of the fall armyworm. The fall armyworm is an invasive species that is native to the American continent. As you're all aware, the continent cultivates a lot of maize. They call it corn. So they are so much infested by this pest. But around 2016, the pest invaded Africa. And within a short period of time, by 2017, around March, it had already spread across the whole continent. So the fall armyworm is a very serious pest that causes a very big threat to maize. Yield losses associated with the fall armyworm can go between 40 to 70% if management is not done. But the other thing is also that the infestation is very terrible. So it's a pest that can damage the maize leaves greatly. And so the way you see it damaging the maize leaves, creating those holes, and you find that the whole field is devastated, just like the way if the army is to hit rebels somewhere, they will definitely destroy them. In fact, that's where the name, the armyworm, comes from. It's just, it's associated with how it destroys the maize completely. The other, of course, problem that affects the maize is the striga weed. I think locally it's known Kayongo. The farmers from the north call it Ariel. Those from the east, the Teso area, call it Emoto. But if you look at the Bantu tribes and the Baganda, the Basoga, mainly call it Kayongo. This is a weed, it's not a pest. That also affects the maize. Yeah, so basically, just to get to your question mainly about the fall armyworm, I think that's the information I can give you. It's a very serious pest that we have now, and farmers are mainly challenged with this pest ever since it invaded the continent. Thank you.
Now, Alex, how big is it for us here in Uganda, or which areas are most affected?
Okay, thank you. Like Nathan has just said, this pest, when it came into Uganda, actually it was first detected in Kayunga, Kasese, but in a very short time it had spread to all the parts of the country. But when you look at the statistics of this country, when it comes to maize production, the biggest growers of maize is Eastern Uganda, Northern Uganda, then you cross to the west. So the biggest area that is most affected is Eastern Uganda and Northern Uganda. So those are the areas where the problem is highest. But you also understand that maize is one of the crops that is grown by almost every household in this country. So it's affecting everyone, basically. Yes.
Now, still, Alex, let's look at how farmers are dealing with it before you experts come in.
Okay. Thank you so much once again. When this pest invaded Africa and then it came to Uganda, that was around 2016, there was a lot of panic because this is a staple crop and everyone has it. So people had to rush to agro-input shops to buy chemicals, which at that time, they were not working very well. But of course, research had to come in, and we started advising people on how to control this and what time do you spray. So currently, what farmers are using basically chemicals. Others are trying to use some of the local concoctions. Some other people use the ash, others use magic. And some of these try to control this pest actually, if you use it rightly. So most farmers are basically depending on chemicals, and in particular they are using a chemical called the rocket. If you go all over. When they go to buy seeds, they come back with a small container of rockets. So farmers are basically using chemicals entirely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now to Nathan, farmers are using chemicals, but what do you recommend? What should be used?
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. I think it's very important that for a farmer who wants to address the problem of pests, they also have to understand quite a lot of dynamics in terms of how these pests behave. First of all, most of these pests, especially the fall armyworm, its life cycle is about 30 days. So within 30 days, you'll always see a new generation, a new generation coming. So, so we need to understand the biology, the behavior, and even farmers should be able to now to identify some of these pests, and then how it attacks the crop. So for a farmer whose gardens have been invaded by the fall armyworm, the first thing, definitely, once maize has germinated, it's very important for a farmer to do scouting. Okay, scouting involves take a walk to your field, check infestation, and see, once the plants are infested, you begin to think of what appropriate solution can I be able to employ. Through partnerships with various institutions, I'm happy to report that there is a tool that has been designed to support farmers actually do the scouting and monitoring of their maize fields. And this tool is called the bucket trap. This is what we call the bucket trap. This bucket trap has a lure which is put inside. This lure mimics.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you short. Just received information that we must go to Sheraton Kampala Hotel for a live broadcast. And let me hand over to the live broadcast at Sheraton Kampala Hotel.
And businesses. I know, I mean, the stars were even more expertise beyond probably what CSBAG has been priding itself on. But we have decided to do a very